Hi Aquarius, and welcome to your July 2019 Astrology 33 reading. We have a Celtic Cross spread in front of us, and then we also have a couple of Oracle cards that we'll get through after we get through the main spread to help tie everything together, and also a Mudra card. And also before I forget, for those of you interested in booking a personal reading with me, following me on Instagram, or donating to the channel, just check out the description of the video for more info on all that. Alright, well, let's get started with your main spread now. In the position of the main situation, we have the Six of Pentacles. So this is actually a card of Taurus energy. It's the middle 10 degrees of Taurus. And it's also an energy of balance. Now this could be, I'm getting a vibe, and especially because Taurus is your 4th house and you have Uranus in that sign, which is your ruler. This could just be saying that some of you might be waiting on an insurance payout for, maybe you had some damage to your home recently. I know certain parts of the country, in the US anyway, have gotten some pretty bad storms. So that could be part of it for some of you, at least, that maybe that's what's going on there. For others of you, this could just be saying that maybe you've been giving to a humanitarian cause lately, maybe doing some volunteer work, some charity. And then for others of you, could just be in a more mundane level. You're working on balancing a situation with a specific person or a group of people. In the challenger obstacle position, we have the Three of Wands. So to me, this is what makes me think that there is some kind of holdup with this balance. With this in the challenge position, this is the waiting for your ships to come in. So for some of you, with this in the challenge obstacle position, this could mean that, the challenge is that you're stuck waiting for this money to arrive. For others of you, it could be saying that maybe, if it's more of a personal relationship situation where you do want balance restored, and maybe you've been waiting for the other person to make the move first to help restore the balance, it might be saying that, it might be better for you to actually initiate the talks in that regard this month. But yeah, I'm really picking up on the vibe for a lot of you that this could be related to some insurance regarding your home, or maybe even a loan for a new home for some of you. Maybe you're waiting on that in order to move. Maybe someone's made an offer on your house, or you made an offer on the house and you're just waiting to hear back from that. But that home theme keeps popping up for me. In the foundation position, we have the Queen of Swords. So this is technically a Libra card usually, but this can also represent you guys as well, since you're also obviously an air sign. But really what I'm seeing with this, I'm looking at, with this being a Libran energy and the way that she's looking off in that direction and pointing almost to the position of your influence on the situation. If it is some kind of a settlement you're waiting on, or some kind of like I said, insurance payout, whatever the case may be, some loan approval, it looks like that will come through for you guys this month, just because, like I said, their position in the spread, they're pointing right toward your position in the spread, and that sword is pointing up at that situation. So, and this is also, Libra obviously is another energy of balance as well. So there is something you've been waiting on. It looks like you might get some positive news this month. And Libran energy, that can represent the legal system sometimes as well. So that's why I'm saying, it could be something, maybe even a court settlement of some kind. But that's the main vibe I'm getting there. But it is another theme of balance. So there's that. In the past position, we have the Empress card. This is actually usually a card of Taurus energy. So, some of you could have been dealing with a Taurus, or this could just be pointing to the timeline, which, this could be saying that all of this might have started during the time of Taurus. So, late April through mid-May, maybe that's when this all started to take place. For some of you, this could even represent finding out you found out you were pregnant recently, or all of this stuff that we see here could also be related to child custody, or child support payments in some way, shape, or form as well. And again, like I said, with Taurus being your fourth house and Uranus being there, and like I said, just thinking about those crazy storms that happened around the time of Taurus as well. And even now, there's still some pretty intense storms going on in certain areas, but maybe that's pointing to that as well. All right, in the present position, we have the Page of Swords and the Queen of Pentacles. So the first thing that comes to mind with this combination is, you might receive some communication, again, regarding that money that you've been waiting on. The Queen of Pentacles is technically a Capricorn card, so maybe it might happen around the time of that full moon that'll be in Capricorn, around the middle of July. But with the Page of Swords, I also, if it's not related to that, it's more of a personal relationship dynamic again. What I say with the Page of Swords in the upright, yeah, it's probably trustworthy communication, but I view it as a one foot in, one foot out energy. The person doesn't seem very comfortable with that stance with the sword, right? So, could come off a bit clunky with the communication, but you can most likely trust what they do have to say. And for some of you, it might even come over social media because, like I said, when I look at these trees, to me, they remind me of that Facebook F. So this could even be someone communicating to you over social networking. Like I said, if it's some earth sign maybe that you were dealing with in the past, and maybe you're trying to restore balance with that earth sign, and maybe you guys have been in a stalemate where neither of you has wanted to reach out to the other. Looks like this month they might actually reach out to you. Or the other way you could look at that is, since you guys are the sword element, this might again be pointing to saying that for some of you, you might have to be the one to initiate communication. In the near future position, we have the Hermit card. So this is a card of introspection, really analyzing situations on a deep level. Um, and, this is a Virgo energy. So for you guys, Virgo is your eighth house. So again, eighth house matters can relate to other people's money. So that would include insurance settlements, or like I said, if someone has made an offer on a house that you have, for example, and you're waiting to move, things along those lines. So this could just represent that, things are definitely being looked at in fine detail this month. And if we look at their placement, they're looking right down at that Queen of Swords as well. So to me, this definitely represents, the wheels in motion for whatever you've been waiting on with that Six of Pentacles and the Three of Wands in the challenge position. All right, in the position of your influence on the situation, we have the Queen of Cups. So this is actually a Cancer energy, and Cancer is your sixth house, and there will be a new moon early on in the month. So this could just be saying that some of you might be switching up your daily routine, maybe even starting a new job, maybe recommitting to your health if maybe you've had some health issues recently. But what I see more with this, with that Cancerian energy, and what I was talking about with the fourth house stuff going on for you guys with Uranus in that sign, this could also just say that maybe, if you do have to move, like I said, maybe you had some damage from a storm, and if that's the case, I'm sorry to hear that. But, or just even, you're just trying to move in general. Maybe you're really reluctant to move. Maybe it's a place that you've lived for a long time. Because, when I think of that Cancerian energy, that's that energy of home. And, if we look at the cup there, it's closed off. So, this could just be saying that you're really reluctant to let go and move on if you do have to relocate in some way, shape, or form. And that could be from anything, if this is a divorce you're going through, for example, maybe you're really reflecting on that and realizing how much, how big of a change it will be if you have to be the one who moves. There's plenty of ways that could play out. And I do have to mention, like I said, with the Empress in the past position too, and how that could point to pregnancy. Queen of Cups, that's very much a motherly energy as well. This could just be saying that this is you right now. Maybe because you're pregnant, you're just really having to step back and take it easy, save your energy, and really, make sure that the baby's healthy. All right, in the position of the environment's influence in a situation, we have the Hierophant in reverse. So this is more Taurus energy. And, this is the major arcana card for Taurus. Sometimes the Empress is associated with it as well. But with this coming up in reverse, this could show, this to me points to that holdup possibly. Like I was saying, if you're waiting on some kind of a payment from an insurance company, especially that, I feel like that's probably the strongest vibe I'm getting. But it could also be like a bank institution, like I said, if you're waiting on a loan, or if someone's trying to buy something from you, if they're the ones who are waiting on a loan, with the Hierophant in reverse, that could just point to that. So, that could be what's holding things up for you guys. And I mean, the good news is, at least with the Queen of Swords there, that's some pretty supportive energy to get it rolling. And then you have the Wheel of Fortune and the outcome as well. So that means things can finally shift. We are going to have Mercury in retrograde this month. And while that could really throw things astray in new situations, there are times when it could actually be beneficial, as far as if there has been some kind of a hold up for a while. When Mercury goes retrograde, it could actually help clear that blockage up. So that's the positive way that could play out for you. And if this is about, maybe a Taurus you were dealing with that you've parted ways with in a relationship sense, it looks like if there is some kind of legal proceedings around that, it looks like it will favor you, because, like I said, the Queen of Swords is pointing right to your position in the spread, and then this person's in reverse. So hopefully that resonates for some of you. In the hopes or fears position, we have the Four of Pentacles. So I'm going to assume for most of you this is probably a fear, and this is just saying, you might be fearful that the money you're waiting on might not come, right? Or maybe if you're moving, maybe you're worried about the expenses behind that. You're like, all right, I really have to pinch my pennies because I have to make this big move, right? So that could be how it's playing out. But just keep in mind, this is a actual, it's just hopes or fears. So it doesn't necessarily point to this tangibly playing out where you would be lacking money, but, it's just more what's on your mind. And I will say this is actually, this represents the last 10 degrees of Capricorn, and that's where that full moon eclipse in the middle of the month will be as well. So just wanted to mention that. And then in the outcome position, we have the Wheel of Fortune and the Five of Cups. So seems like a really odd combination, right? But again, especially with that Queen of Cups energy in your position, which was, like I was saying, it could just be like a nostalgic energy, not wanting to move on. This could mean that, yes, actually something good is coming your way, but it could just be a matter of, really putting the past behind you. So again, maybe if it's the finality of a divorce for some of you, right? Okay, in the long run, you're happy to be out of the relationship, right? If it wasn't a healthy relationship, but you might think back on those old times, especially with the retrograde energy going on in the sign of Cancer too. Just might have you reflecting and just feeling disappointed that things didn't work out. For others of you, like I said, if it's that theme of maybe you guys had some damage to your home and you might have to move, or you were just relocating in general, this might say, okay, the wheel finally turns to get that moving for you now, but then you could just be feeling nostalgic about the old place, So that's the primary energy that I'm seeing with these two cards, even though they seem very odd together. That's really what I'm thinking it is. It's like, all right, you're getting that movement that you needed for a while maybe, but okay, that's, we're all human, right? So even if you are moving to a better place, for example, but you just have a lot of memories in the old place, then yeah, you could get caught up in that for a while, All right. And well, moving on to the oracle cards, rather, the first oracle card you guys got is Imagine. There's the artwork for it, and it's number 20, if that has any significance for you. Let's take a look at that. Okay, it says essential meanings: turning imagination into manifestation, creative thought, visualization, the power of aligning imagery and feelings, creativity, illusions. The oracle's message: what do you want to be? What do you need to believe in order to have the life you want? You were gifted with the power to imagine. If you can dream it, you can create it. This is the time when your imagination is the key to manifesting the life you desire. Spend time daydreaming, fashioning a vision board to help you see your goals, or meditating. Allow the power of your creativity to deliver messages of what feeds your soul. Then allow your feelings to mingle with your inspirations, and imagine these things being real right now. Then repeat. What you imagine will become your belief, and soon you will see these things come to pass in the outer world as if by magic. So interesting there, and then actually I almost forgot to mention you do have the Ten of Cups at the bottom of the deck as well, which could also be, to me that's that energy of imagination to an extent. So, and then maybe that's what it's saying, and maybe with that Queen of Cups energy, you are getting more in touch with like your intuitive side and everything, and really just taking that time to daydream and think about things, and maybe that Wheel of Fortune, is just saying that that'll get the gears turning a bit for you guys this month. All right, the relationship message says in matters of the heart, it's easy to daydream about another as a means of connecting to that person. While that's romantic, if you want this relationship to be real, you need to go for it, not just dream about it. Now is the time to move beyond the daydream and into reality, beyond illusion and into fruition. Relationships are about relating, so step out onto the dance floor where imagination partners with manifestation. The message of this card is that a person with attributes you have imagined will enter your life. You'll be changed for the better. Imagine that. So if you remember what I was saying for you guys is the way that this energy here could have been playing out is maybe you want to restore balance in a connection, but the issue is neither of you are making a move, right? And like if it is a Taurus, that could definitely be the case because you're both fixed energies. But so maybe that's been the issue. So if that's the case, like I was saying, for at least some of you, one of the ways that could have played out, which was to say you might have to be the one to reach out first in order to get that balance restored rather than just waiting for them to come to you. So if that's the case, that message there certainly seemed to resonate with that. And then the prosperity message says this is a powerful time to get clear on how you create your prosperity, what it means to you to be prosperous, and what attributes you need to develop in yourself to make things happen. What do you need to be to live out your dreams? Can you imagine the kind of life you desire? Really imagine it without holding back the sheer force of your powers of creativity? If you can envision it, you can have it. Get ready, for prosperity is waiting for you to claim it now. Act as if. Your dreams really will come true. So maybe that's what that Queen of Cups is about there too. Something that you've held near and dear to your heart, like something that you've had, an idea that you've had for a long time, and it's saying maybe this is the time to really think that you can manifest that and have it come out. And maybe that's what the Wheel of Fortune and the outcome would be about in that regard. All right, next we'll move on to the card you guys got from the Spirit Animal Oracle, and that's Stag Spirit. It says take the lead. There's the artwork for it, and the number is 58. Let's see what this has to say. Okay, it says whether or not you have set your intentions to lead, you may have found yourself suddenly called to step up to the forefront of your life. Stag Spirit is a reminder that now is a time to heed the call to be sure, strong, and compassionate. Others will look to you, and you have it within you to see through the eyes of Stag Spirit and walk with confidence as you take on the responsibilities that are yours now and model integrity in all that you do and in all your relationships. Be willing to see the best in others so that your compassionate heart keeps you on the right path. Stag Spirit wants you to know that your responsibilities now are to yourself too, for you are learning and developing new skills. The best in you is coming into view as you step forward with strength, knowing that Spirit supports you as you compassionately take the lead. You are a model for transformation now, sharing your experience, strength, and hope with others so they may grow and discover their best selves too. What a gift you are. Stay humble and authentic and walk your talk, for this is how a wise leader leads. Now, it makes me think back. I think it might have been a few months ago now, but I think I had a similar theme for you guys, even though the cards were totally different. Where I was saying, you might have had to take the lead in some way. I think the title for it was "Lead by Example" or something. I'm 99% sure it was your sign, but just don't ask me what month it was. It might have been like April or May or something. It was definitely at least a couple months back, but maybe that theme's still playing out, and maybe the retrograde energy, of course, might be bringing it back up again, the same theme. All right, and lastly, we have a Mudra card. So, for those of you who haven't seen this from my videos before, basically what a mudra is it's a hand gesture that you hold while meditating, usually for a minimum of 5 minutes, up to 45 minutes for some. But if you're not accustomed to meditating, 5 is perfectly fine. Don't freak yourself out. Even that can feel like a long time, just so you guys know if you haven't done it. But yeah. Basically, their purpose is to help clear blockages. Sometimes it could be actual physical blockages it could help clear, but a lot of times it's also more like emotional or mental blockages. And the one that you guys got for this month is this one here, and that's the Ashvaratna Mudra. And the keyword for it is perspective. So I'll just turn the card over so you could get some additional info on it. Alright, so I'll just hold this up for a bit in case you guys want to pause the video or take a screenshot so you could read what it has to say. And since we can't fit everything in this frame, I'm just going to move it up a bit so you could get the rest of the info as well. But yeah, under benefits it says balances earth, water, and fire elements, benefiting digestion, circulation, and overall vitality. Cuts through ego clinging and narrow-mindedness, gives new perspective on your choices and life's path. So if you think that's something that you guys could benefit from, I'll put the name of that in the description of the video as well if you wanted to look into it some more. But we'll wrap up here, guys. All right, and I'll see you next month. Bye.